Do fish even sleep? So here's the thing. When you picture sleep, you're probably imagining yourself curled up in bed, eyelids shut, soft pillow, maybe drooling a little. Now try to picture that underwater. No beds, no pillows. And fish? They don't even have eyelids to close. That's why for centuries people assumed fish never sleep. I mean, how can you snooze when your eyes are permanently wide open? Creepy, right? But the truth is, fish do sleep, just not in the way we humans do. Their version of sleep is a little more alien, a little more survival-driven, and a lot more fascinating. Instead of cozy REM cycles and dreamland adventures, fish enter a state of reduced activity. Their breathing slows, their reactions dull, their little fishy brains shift gears, and depending on the species, the strategy is wildly different. Some hover like motionless ghosts. Some wrap themselves in mucus sleeping bags. Some literally sleep with half their brain awake, like a paranoid insomniac at a horror movie marathon. And when you dive into the deep sea, oh boy, that's a whole other dimension of weirdness. Down there, light doesn't exist. Day and night are meaningless. So creatures invent their own rhythms. Some barely rest at all because stopping means dying. Others drift in eerie stillness, conserving every drop of energy in a world where food is rarer than Wi-Fi on a plane. So in this video, we're going to answer once and for all. How do fish sleep? We'll explore reefs, rivers, and the terrifying deep abyss. We'll meet parrotfish with slime pajamas, sharks with half a brain shut down, and vampire squid who live like professional nap takers. By the end, you'll never look at Nemo or sushi quite the same way again. First, let's nail down what we mean by sleep. In humans, sleep has clear markers: closed eyes, REM stages, dreams, snoring, the whole thing. But fish, they don't tick those boxes. Scientists define fish sleep based on behavior. Reduced activity. They stop swimming around constantly and may hover, float, or rest on the bottom. Decreased response. Tap on the tank and they don't dart away as fast. Reversible state. Unlike being knocked out or dead, they can snap awake if danger shows up. In fact, many species show something very much like circadian rhythms, the biological clock that tells us when to sleep and wake. Shallow water fish often sync with light cycles. When the sun sets, activity slows. When it rises, they perk up again. But here's the twist. Fish sleep doesn't look uniform across the board. Unlike mammals, there's no standard pattern. One species' nap is another species' coma. And some fish, like tuna or mackerel, might hardly rest at all because their bodies demand constant movement to push oxygen over their gills. Imagine having to jog 24/7 just to breathe. Good luck sleeping through that. Then there's the predator-prey problem. Humans can lock the door and crash in peace. Fish? They live in a constant game of eat or be eaten. If you snooze too hard, congratulations, you just became someone's midnight snack. That's why so many fish have evolved bizarre sleeping hacks. Half-brain sleep, hiding in crevices, even blending into the sand like marine ninjas. And if you're thinking, but do they dream? Probably not. Fish brains don't show the rapid eye movement cycles that mammals and birds do. That said, some researchers believe certain fish may enter dreamlike states. Imagine a goldfish having nightmares about being flushed. Poor guy. So rule number 1, fish do sleep. But rule number 2, it looks nothing like your Saturday afternoon nap. Let's head to the reefs, the neon cities of the ocean. If you've ever snorkeled, you've seen the daytime chaos. Schools of damselfish zipping around, clownfish guarding their anemones like overprotective dads, parrotfish chomping on coral with the enthusiasm of toddlers eating crayons. But when night falls, the reef transforms. Clownfish? They tuck themselves into their anemones and go still, safe among the stinging tentacles that keep predators away. Damselfish wedge themselves between coral branches and freeze. It's like a fishy game of hide and seek, except the stakes are life and death. And then you have the parrotfish, absolute icons of weird bedtime rituals. These guys secrete a thick, slimy mucus cocoon around their bodies before sleeping. Yes, a slime sleeping bag. The theory is it masks their scent from predators and acts like a protective bubble. Basically, parrotfish invented biotech pajamas. Wrasse fish, on the other hand, bury themselves in the sand. That's right. They literally tuck themselves into the seabed like it's a blanket. If you swam past at night, you might not even notice them, just a fish-shaped lump under the sand. All of these reef strategies boil down to one thing: survival. During the day, color and speed matter. At night, it's about disappearing, slowing down, and making sure you don't wake up inside someone else's stomach. Okay, let's tackle the big myth. Sharks never sleep. That's not quite true. Some sharks, like great whites and makos, must keep swimming constantly to breathe because water only flows over their gills when they're moving. But that doesn't mean they never rest. Instead, they do something called unihemispheric sleep. One half of their brain shuts down while the other stays awake enough to keep them swimming and alert. Basically, they're the masters of multitasking, resting and cruising at the same time. Other sharks, like nurse sharks, rays, and wobbegongs, have spiracles, special openings that pump water over their gills even when they're lying still. That means they can literally take a nap on the ocean floor. Imagine a giant carpet of sharks sprawled out like a cat in the sun. Hammerhead sharks? Their oddly shaped heads actually help them while resting, giving them wider radar vision so one eye can watch for predators even while dozing. Not bad for a creature that already looks like an alien spacecraft. So yes, sharks sleep. But unlike us, their survival depends on keeping one eye open. You can think of them as the insomniacs of the sea, never fully off, just dialed down. Now let's descend, past the sunlight zone, past the twilight zone, into the pitch-black midnight zone, where pressure could crush a submarine and the only light comes from living organisms that glow like neon signs. Here, the question, how do fish sleep, gets even stranger. Deep-sea fish don't have a 24-hour day. There's no sunrise, no sunset. Instead, many set their rhythm to feeding patterns or energy conservation. Take lanternfish. By day, they rest in the deep, thousands of feet below the surface. By night, they rise in massive vertical migrations to feed near the surface. Their rest comes in the dark depths, suspended in stillness, like tiny glowing stars frozen in space. Anglerfish, the stuff of nightmares, don't waste energy swimming constantly. They lie in eerie stillness, their glowing lure dangling, waiting for prey. Their hunting posture and their resting posture are almost the same. That's efficiency, sleep and dinner prep combined. Then you've got the vampire squid. Despite the terrifying name, these creatures are basically lazy champions. They live in oxygen-poor zones, where survival means conserving every bit of energy. Their metabolism is so slow that their version of sleep looks more like a permanent power save mode. Gulper eels? Their strategy is more about drifting. They can go into low-energy states, letting currents carry them. Picture a nightmare balloon animal just coasting through eternal darkness. And let's not forget the hatchetfish, with their reflective silver bodies. They float still in the water column, catching faint bits of bioluminescent glow. Their rest looks like levitation. Down here, sleep isn't about luxury. It's about survival math. How little energy can you burn? How still can you remain? And how ready can you be to either grab food or avoid becoming food? Now for the fun hacks. Some fish actually sleep with one eye open. This isn't just a metaphor. Unihemispheric sleep means one half of the brain rests while the other half stays awake. Dolphins do it, birds do it, and yes, some fish do too. Migratory species like tuna, marlin, and swordfish can't just stop moving. Their solution? Micronaps. Little bursts of low brain activity while the body keeps cruising. Think of it as living your whole life in power nap mode. Then there's the use of light. Shallow water fish cue their cycles to sunlight. But in caves or deep-sea environments, bioluminescence sometimes acts as the clock. Imagine your entire sleep schedule dictated by glow-in-the-dark neighbors. And camouflage plays a role too. Flatfish like flounders literally melt into the seafloor, snoozing while invisible. Some Arctic fish time their rest with the strange rhythms of polar day and night, where night might last for months. The diversity is mind-blowing. From mucus pajamas to half-brain naps, the ocean has invented more bedtime hacks than TikTok influencers. So do fish sleep? Absolutely. But not like us. They don't dream of sugar plums. They don't tuck themselves in. They adapt to a world where sleep could mean death. Some hover, some bury themselves, some glow while they nap, some never fully shut down. And the deeper you go, the stranger it gets. In the abyss, rest isn't a luxury. It's the razor-thin line between survival and extinction. Meanwhile, we humans can close the door, dim the lights, and sleep in peace. Kind of makes you appreciate your bed a little more, doesn't it? So next time you see a fish tank or think about the deep sea, remember this. Those little creatures might be mid-nap, eyes wide open, floating like zombies. The ocean is full of insomniacs, power nappers, and mucus blanket enthusiasts. And that's what makes it endlessly fascinating, because in the end, the ocean never really sleeps. But its creatures sure try. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.